The first thing I want to touch on before I get into self-inquiry is a distinction between objectivity and involvement. So this is an important distinction for us to make anytime we're engaged in any kind of inner practice, because we can be practicing but lose the sense of objectivity that makes the practice worthwhile, that actually helps it to bear fruit. When we become involved in our practice, then we're actually losing the purpose of it. Objectivity is the state of mind that we most want to achieve. Whether we know it or not, whether we are calling it objectivity, we are always looking to be in this state. Involvement is something that we naturally tend to reject or resist once we become aware that we are actually involved. We'll work with the analogy of road rage to help us understand them. The first thing about objectivity is that it is a perspective that is separate from the contents of our awareness. So the contents of our awareness comprise our thoughts, our emotions. You could say also that it's our perception. Our perceptions appear to us in our own consciousness. To be objective to them means that we're able to occupy a perspective that is separate from whatever thought you happen to be entertaining, or emotion, or perception. Involvement means that we are fully identified with the contents of our consciousness. So a thought comes up, and it's not just that we are having the thought, in fact, I am the thought. Similarly with emotions, it's not just that I'm having an emotion, or there is an emotion within me, I become it. Okay, so how does road rage fit into this? Somebody cuts a person off in traffic and they fly into their road rage. An emotion comes up in the personality of anger. A thought comes up in the personality of how dare he cut me off. So there is no separation between the emotion and you, the individual, going through the emotion. You are anger. You're identified with it. A person who is more objective might feel that anger come up, that might see that thought, how dare he, but they are one step back from that. They're not fully identified with it. Another way to think about this is looking at something rather than looking through it. So in this example, the anger and the outrage, these are lenses. When we're involved, we're looking at the world through that lens. So imagine you've got some rose-colored glasses on. Everything that you see is colored with that rose. In a similar way, when the individual is looking at the world of traffic around him, he's looking at it through the lens of anger and offense. To be objective means to be aware that these lenses are there, to be aware that these thoughts and emotions are there, and you're looking at them. It's like you've taken the glasses off and you're looking at the glasses now. When we are objective, we're conscious. We are deliberate in what we're doing because we're not carried away by the thoughts and the emotions. When we are involved, we are distracted by whatever the thought or emotion is doing. If you like, we're a passenger. When we're objective, it permits self-reflection and metacognition. So self-reflection obviously means the ability to look within oneself, question, understand. Metacognition is to think about your thinking. This thought has come up. Where did it come from? Why did it arise? What should I do with it? This emotion is here. What does it mean to me? This is metacognition, thinking about your thinking. Only capable of this when we are objective. If we are involved, it inhibits any kind of penetration of our thought and emotion. And finally, when we're objective, we're free to choose our response. Imagine the person who is more objective in that road rage scenario. They feel the anger. They are offended that they particularly got cut off, but they choose to just ease off the accelerator and let the person go in front. they make that choice. When we are involved, we're identified with the emotion and the thought. We're looking through that lens. We're distracted by it. We can't penetrate to question whether it's a good thought or a bad emotion. And so the response is chosen for us. We actually lose our sense of freedom. So it's an important distinction to make. And we're all familiar with both objectivity and involvement. We've all had that experience of being involved in a thought or an emotion and then suddenly snapping out of it and realizing, oh, what was I thinking? What was I doing? So that objectivity is an important part. In fact, you could say it's the vital part of any kind of practice that we engage in, meditative, contemplative, etc. When we get involved in our practice, then we're losing the benefit.